A very good morning, Zimbabwe. Mamukase. So something very important has been raised by Honorable Killer Zivhu. He says Zimbabwe isn't progressing like other countries because we worship individuals. Tinombera maoko munhu watada akatisurira tichidya. Tinokumbira kuti please dzokorora kusura. This is why tava kunzi international orphans. Our nation first, individuals second. So this is what Killer Zivhu is saying. And you need to take a look onto this statement. So, number one, the question is Zimbabwe progressing like what other countries are doing? The answer is no. Zimbabwe is stagnant. Zimbabwe is not progressing. Nothing is working in the nation of Zimbabwe. We are going sector backwards, infrastructure backwards, finance backwards. Everything we do, we are regressing whilst others are progressing. If you take a look where South Africa was in 2010, it was better than us. In 2023, we have not reached that level. So each and every time you speak about that, the people will start to tell you about patriotism, will start to tell you about all other nonsense you might think of. But in my view, patriotism should not be pinned on how we complain. It must be an issue of how we develop our own nation. Patriotism must make sure that those in leadership develop the country for the best interest of the people or of the country. But when we have individuals who are building mansions instead of hospitals, mansions instead of schools, mansions instead of our public services, then we have people who would not even care about the priorities. We have people who are unpatriotic. So patriotism, we must experience it by equally accessing to the basic needs. But when we have just a few individuals having access to the basic needs, when the rest are suffering, then there's no patriotism in such a country. Those who are in leadership must exercise patriotism. They are the torch bearers of any nation. And when the nation is misled, don't expect anything better to happen in that country. So that is how I view things. That is how I think about everything else we might think of or we might talk about. So I agree with Honorable Killer Zivhu here. If you take about the issue of worshipping individuals, that is a trend in the nation of Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwean leader, President Emerson Mnangagwa, has been worshipped so many times by the ignorant ZANU PF people. And kungoti chero chaaita zvongonzi pamberi navo baba, unotonzwa vanhu vachiti tongai baba. And what is tongai baba when somebody is messing up with the economy, is messing up with the health sector, is messing up with everything else you might think of? And vanhu vanenge vachingoti tongai baba chete pfe takapinda. The people who are starting these tongai babas and pfes are the people who are benefiting. I can tell you the people who are singing nonsense about the ZANU PF and so forth, they are benefiting. Vakatengerwa dzimota, vakatengerwa dzimba, vari kupiwa mari every month. These are benefits they are getting. So iwewe as an individual, hakuna chikoro, hakuna zvipatara, hakuna you suffer unemployment, massive unemployment, because those who can employ cannot register companies and thrive. But those who can't employ are the ones who are registering companies. And those companies are being just funded as show-off companies for corruption, show-off companies for tenderpreneurship. That is what is happening. So that is the challenge you have in Zimbabwe. It's not about merit. It's about who knows who. And if you don't have your personal capacity to do some things, then you are doomed. Then you see, are we international orphans? An orphan, one of the characteristics of an orphan, kukumbira, and one of the key characteristics of an orphan, kugara kumba kusiri kwavo. So we are living outside our homes, not intentionally, but because there is nothing at home. So we are being taken care of by other countries. That is the nature, the culture now in Zimbabwe, where people believe kuti kuenda diaspora is the solution to our problems. But they do not understand kuti not everybody who goes into diaspora progresses, because kunenge kune maproblems ariko. You now have double homes. Just imagine you are living in South Africa, you have rentals and expenses in South Africa, you have a family in Zimbabwe, you have rentals and expenses in Zimbabwe, then une mukomana wemumba ari kumusha, you have costs ezviri kumusha zvekare, you have parents to take care of. So when you have to go to home, you have to travel very long distances. You are not on the ground. There are some things which you cannot monitor. So kana une mukomana ari pamba right now, I will tell you this: mombe dzako iwewe hadzidarike 10. Kana wangodzisiya dziri 10 hadzidarike 10. Kana wasiya dziri 2 hadzidarike 2. Kana wasiya dziri 5 hadzidarike 5. Huku unoona pasina, mbudzi unoona pasina. That is what is happening to Zimbabwe. That is regression. Zvasiyana nekuti iwe unenge uripo. Ani muruzvona. Kana uripo, you make sure kuti mbudzi yangu yarwara, waipa mushonga, waivaccinata, waita deworm, waona mbudzi dzako dzabereka, you separate vana vacho kuti vasatsikwa, vasaita mapinda madhaka, and you see kuti you have 90% survival rate of the kids. But if you are not there, unogona kuwana pane 2% or 1% survival rate. That is the culture zvinenge zvichiitika muZimbabwe. It's not kuti you are caged or what, but if you are not on the ground, you cannot monitor, you cannot do anything for your own things. So those are the challenges we are facing as individuals, and this is reality, this is the truth. Just imagine kuti you are not there, mombe yoberekwa, and you come back in December, you be told kuti mombe dzakabereka 3 vana vakafa vese vari 3. But mwana iye anogona kuti akura apa ninge kuti agona kurumurika onzvengeswa, and nobody is willing to account kumhuru, zvekuti chero vanhu vemuraini vakangonzwa kuti mhuru yakafa, they don't even care, because imhuru kadiki. Ane munozviona, it's not like that big cow. But ikanzvengeswa mhuru for 5-6 months, even ikaendeswa kumusha kwemukomana, noti ikatengeswa, you never understand kuti zvakafamba sei, and you never recover it. And that is nature, that is life. And those are the issues which are happening because people are living far away from home. Then we have an issue kuti you send people, nditengerewo chakati nechakati, ndivakirewo imba yangu, and you find them doing substandard things. Those are the issues which happen when you're not there. So at the end of the day, panopera 10 years, you have gone back to zero instead of you going from 0 to 100. So because of leadership vacuum in Ngeripo, people are being driven away from their homes, and the distance itself will make you not be able to monitor what is happening on the ground. Vana unowana dzamuka, vamwe vamitiswa, vamwe vamitisa, vamwe varamba chikoro, vamwe vadi into drugs and everything else. All those problems because hatina leadership inenge iripo. So let us put our nation first, then individuals will come last. This is the reason why I believe in collective transformation of the nation of Zimbabwe. We have to put our ideas together so that we build this country called Zimbabwe. So I agree with Honorable Killer Zivhu. I do not know what you think, but I believe in him, and this is true.